From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big noontime here on LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check. And not one, but 6 breaking news stories happening right now about that fourth stimulus check, the monthly stimulus check that starts in the month of July, and the vote looming for that fourth stimulus check. I have all the breaking great news in this recording. Then the second half of this recording, we go over fifth stimulus. This stimulus will raise up your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, and Veterans benefits, and then apply a new benchmark. That benchmark will change your lifetime benefits for the greatest good. And I'll compare it against the Warren plan, which it now dwarfs. Incredible great news. In the middle of this recording, we'll go over the thousands of dollars of money you can get right now. One viewer got some money minutes ago. I'm going to go over how you can get the money. And at noontime right now is a Janet Yellen scandal. I have all the exciting news. I'm really excited for you. Let's get to the details. It's starting right now here on Noontime LA. Hey, good noontime, everybody. How are you doing? This is LA Direct to you live here in Santa Monica on a Wednesday at noontime. Hope you are wonderful and safe. Where are you tuning in from, and how's the weather? Drop in the comments, either in the live chat or in the comments to the video, where you're tuning in from, and how's the weather? It is sunny. It got cooler. It was a little bit warmer yesterday, but finally cooled off. Thank goodness. Hope you're good. In this recording, we're going to go over the fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check that lands in your bank account starting in the month of July. And we got no less than 6 breaking news stories that are absolutely incredible as we go over them in this recording. In the second half of the video, we're going to go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, and Survivor benefits, and then apply a new benchmark that'll change your benefits for the greatest good. Oh, you're going to be very excited. In the middle of this video, we go over the thousands of dollars. The viewers that continue to get every single day for this channel, and I want you to get the thousands of dollars. And it's happening right now. Plus, a Janet Yellen scandal just unfolding minutes ago. This is Noontime LA. I'm so excited you to join me. And this is LA, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the only financial channel of its kind. Subscribe. I want you part of this channel. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. 1 million next stop. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video. 1,000, 2,000 likes. Let's do it. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus check starting right now. That monthly stimulus check heats up, and that fourth stimulus check heats up with a bill written by a House member whose name you may now remember. It's Jayapal. I want to go over Jayapal's bill, and then we're going to go over the Senate proposal, and we're going to compare them right now. Jayapal provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. So there you go. The Senate proposal in turn provides a stimulus check monthly from July to December. If you're tuning in just before 12 noon on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, get ready to vote in the live chat or in the comments if you're watching it taped later in the day. The House bill from Jayapal provides $1,000 per month after the first month of $2,000. The Senate amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Yes, wow. Senators reportedly are considering either the $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000, or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. Now, before you vote, let's go back to Jayapal's House bill because it's getting modified not because of language, but because of something that's going on in the pandemic. The issue is the Jayapal bill provides a stimulus check for the pandemic plus 1 year. But some legislators may believe and may contend that the pandemic is over. That may signal that there only be 12 months of stimulus checks, 12 checks, which under Jayapal's bill is $13,000. So do you like $13,000 over 12 months or this over 6 months? All right. Jump in the comments right now and vote Senate versus House, and say where you're viewing from and how the weather. All right, let's go over the other great details on noontime. What else is happening on the fourth stimulus? First, who gets it? You do. So if you got the third stimulus check, you would get the fourth stimulus check. Single individual, 75,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. And if it's a household of 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just quadruple it. Yes, if there's 6 people in the house, 2 would not get the stimulus check. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits, you would get the fourth stimulus check. Away we go. The fourth stimulus check has the same amount for adult dependents, minor dependents, and everyone. The same amount of check. Great news there. It is not income, so it's not taxable. It would not come out in waves. Remember, I'm a reporter. I just report the news. The legislators make the representation. They represent the vote would be no later than July 4th. So you would get a monthly check starting the month of July for the month of July and August for the month of August. There would be no waves of stimulus checks. Taken out for child support, we don't know that answer just yet. And this is currently being done with a 2-step, 2-month process already underway. Language is reportedly nearly finished drafting, called reconciliation. And guess what? I don't have one, but I have 6 breaking news stories about this fourth stimulus, one happening just hours ago, and I'm going to go over it with you in just a second. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. In the second half of this video, we go over fifth stimulus that will raise your benefits across the board. I'm really excited for you. Fifth stimulus features a step up of something else. It is the step up of your benefits. Yes. So under fifth stimulus, they're going to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits, and then apply a new benchmark. And in the second half of this video, you're going to see how that benchmark will absolutely be incredible and change your life for the lifetime of the benefits. Great news. That's coming up in the second half of this recording. But first, I got thousands of dollars of money I want to give you and get you, and it's starting right now. I don't go now less than a couple hours with a viewer dropping in the comments, either live or taped or a DM or a private message saying, I got a couple $100 for rent. I got a couple $1,000 of rent. I got some SNAP. I got some utilities. Thank you. I love that. So if you have a success story, share it with me. Guess what? It inspires me and it motivates other viewers because guess what? I'm now going to get the rest of you some money. And for those who've gotten money, let's get some more. And it's starting right now. I got a lot of money to get for you in this video. So stay to the very end, get a pen and paper ready. And we're going to start with rent. $350 billion was given from your federal government to your cities, counties, and states under the third stimulus. And it had not yet landed, but it's landing this week and landing next week. So where do you get that money? Let's go over the great news. First, there is money for rent. It's about $5,000 for 4 to 6 months of rent. Then there's money for renters' utilities, homeowners' mortgage, and homeowners' utilities. So go get it. All right, get that pen and paper ready. I'm going to go over where you can get it, and it's at 6 places starting right now. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, and State Housing Authority. Incredible, incredible. So how do you get it? The key word you're going to say is rent assistance because of COVID. That's rent assistance because of COVID. You don't use the words stimulus. They won't know what the word stimulus means. You say rent assistance because of COVID or Biden Economic Recovery Act. And what's important to understand is that when you're reaching out for the money, different locations may have different amounts of money across the board. It's important to understand that different sums of money may not be available for different groups of people. All right, let's go into the other items across the board, which are very important for you to know right now. And one of the things I'm wondering right now, is the chat going live? Are we connected or are we not connected? It shows 9,000, 5,000 people in the room, but I can't see the live chat. So I'm not particularly clear, but it does show excellent connections. So something's going on with the live chat, but the good news is it says we're connected. There was some connectivity issues here in Southern California this morning, but it shows we're connected, so I'm going to continue. All right, so with that, guess what? In addition to rent, I got money for SNAP for you, and this is incredible news. What is SNAP? SNAP is money for food, and it is just it's just great. So how much can you get for SNAP? About $16,000 for a family of four in Hawaii. Wow. Why is it so much? Because of two executive orders, one from Biden and one from Trump, that raise your benefits up for 1 year, 15%. So go get it. Yes, a family of four can get upwards of $16,000. How do you get it? Reach out to Department of Agriculture. The keywords you're going to use are SNAP. SNAP, and SNAP is money for food. And look how we're doing 10 minutes into this video. We've gotten $16,000 for SNAP, and we've gotten $5,000 of money for rent. We are doing really well. But I'm going to hit now that big automatic money, and let's get to that automatic money right now. I'm really excited for you with the first item, which is money coming back from your states. All right, let's go over how much money it is, how you're going to get it, and then when you're going to get it. Let's start with the how much money it is. All right, first, it's $1,000. One viewer is getting $5,000. How did this happen? The federal government identified some states that were overpaying unemployment benefits to its residents and then asking to return the money back to them. So what is this money? The federal government has now ordered states to return back to you money that the states had overpaid you due to computer malfeasance, and then asked for you to return it back to them. So that money is now coming back to you. It's thousands of dollars. One viewer is again getting $5,000. So how do you get this money? It's coming automatically from your state, so the account that you have on file. Finally, when are you getting it? Every state has different routing times, so reach out to that respective state. All right, guess what? I got another pot of money for you, and that another pot of money is right now. Let's go over the incredible items. And that money is from IRS and Treasury. IRS and Treasury is returning thousands of dollars. I'm going to go over how much it is, then how you get it, and then when are you going to get it, and also going to give you a tracker tool. Oh boy. So let's get to it. First, let's go over how much it is. It's thousands of dollars. One viewer got $2,000. The federal government is returning back the amount of taxes you paid on your 2020 unemployment benefits. So let's do an analysis of that. For example, let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of taxes to the IRS, of which $4,000 was your taxes on the unemployment benefits. You're getting back $4,000. Congratulations. Now, next, how are you getting it? It's going in the mailbox. It's going in the mailbox. Beige or white envelope inside is a beige check written to you from Treasury, refund. And finally, when? IRS has represented that all payments will be made by the end of May in 3 phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But you may get the checks in early June. All right, let's go over each of the phases. Phase 1 is single filers, non-complicated returns, no dependents. Phase 2 are joint filers. Phase 2 are single filers, complex returns. And then phase 3 is joint filers and like husband and wife. Phase 1 started paying out last week. Phase 2 started late last week, and phase 3 is currently underway. All 3 phases will be paid out by the end of May, and you'll start to see them first week of June. All right, let's get to some great details about how you can track those checks as well. And this is new at noontime. So how can you track them? There is a wonderful trick on how to track those stimulus checks, and it's in the IRS website. Go to irs.gov, set up a username and password. Go in there, put your social security number in there, and then do something that's called a transcript check, a transcript check or transcript search. It'll pull up all the activity associated with your social security number. So you'll see that third stimulus check. You'll see that 2020 tax return you filed with IRS. And then you'll see when that refund's coming back to you. And guess what? That brings us back to the incredible big news about your 4th stimulus check. There is not 1, but 6 breaking news stories about this 4th stimulus check. Multiple stimulus checks happening right now, and I'm going to go over each of them, but I'm going to go chronologically over them. Some of the news stories are just a few hours old. Some of them are for yesterday. Some of them are for last Friday. And you're going to see cumulative how it's really a wonderful snowballing. And we're going to start with Jalapal. Remember, Jalapal wrote that House bill which provides monthly stimulus checks. And when Jalapal wrote that House bill and introduced it to the House members, those House members wrote the President of the United States. 100 House plus members wrote the President of the United States a letter saying we are requiring stimulus checks in that 4th stimulus package. We love Jalapal's bill. Well, guess what? Jalopal wrote Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi a letter. And that letter came last week. And the letter basically said one sentence: call the vote now. Call the vote now. Wow. So this is incredible. Why did Jalopal say call the vote now? Because what's at issue is that the stimulus package, the reconciliation, has already been drafted, they represent. So they just want the vote called. Now, what makes this even better is that Jalopal's letter was co-signed by 100 plus House Democrats, who are among those who signed the original letter to the president saying, let's do Jalopal's bill. When Jalopal wrote that bill, those 100 House Democrats wrote the president saying, we're going to do Jalopal's bill on the forced stimulus. And then the senators did much the same. They wrote their own separate letter to the president saying, if the House members don't take care of it, we'll take care of it when it comes to us in reconciliation during the vote-a-rama, those final 2 days. Wow. So that was Jalopal starting the ball rolling, the snowballing rolling last week. Then on Friday, it really sped up into a tsunami when this letter was sent to the president. Yes, to the president, by 7 House members. What did they say? We're going to work with you on putting those multiple stimulus checks, reoccurring stimulus checks, into the forced stimulus package. Now, when they say work with you, it's a euphemism because the president doesn't write the legislation. They do. And in fact, they are actually the people that write the legislation. What? Yes, those 6 people who wrote the letter are from the House subcommittee called the Ways and Means Subcommittee, House Ways and Subcommittee. And that's the subcommittee that actually writes stimulus checks in all the stimulus packages. The first, the second, the third, and now the fourth. And they wrote the president on Friday saying they're going to work with him on putting those multiple stimulus checks into the forced stimulus package. Wow. As if Captain Obvious could not walk behind the set. I think I hear him somewhere. That is just insane. All right, that now brings me to the incredible other news that came from the president, and that exciting news came from the president on Friday, and boy, it just continued to grow. The president on Friday basically said the following. He said that, well, I'm going to take $600 billion out of my proposal because it's somewhere else. But I'm not changing on my substance. He basically said no deal because the Republicans at that point were at $500 billion. But guess what? He told his legislators, I will have those meetings with the Republicans for bipartisan negotiations till Memorial Day weekend, and that's it. You call the vote. Oh my goodness. Yes, you call the vote. Now, one viewer thought that was bad news. Why? Because the viewer said, Memorial Day weekend, that's September. No. It's this weekend. So you got today, Wednesday, you got tomorrow, Thursday, and you got Friday, which is the day after that, which is 3 days, which under Larry Kudlow's calculator is like 7 days. So you got 3 days. They can have 3 more lunches, chicken, fish, pastrami, I don't know, corned beef, and that's it. He's going to call the vote after that. Incredible. Now, Monday became even better, but a little bit bizarro. And I'm going to slow it down because this is great news, but it's super technical. I'm going to make it very simple for you. The forced stimulus is paid by the corporate tax rate being raised. U.S. corporate tax rate. It's currently 21%. The president wants to pay for the forced stimulus by raising it to 28 to 29% initially. The moderate Democrats said, no, that's too high. Bring it down. He said 25%. They said deal. That was several weeks ago. So what did the president do on Monday? Well, the president said, I have now gotten the G7 countries tentatively to agree to a global corporate tax rate of 15%. Wow. So what does that mean? Global corporate tax rate refers to the lowest corporate tax rate you could have across those countries. So, for example, a corporation in California would not relocate to France if the global corporate tax rate was high enough. And so he's bringing it up to 15%. But it doesn't stop there, the good news. Then the president reportedly told insiders that if this global corporate tax rate is agreed upon at 15% after forced stimulus is passed and people have their stimulus checks, he will come in and drop the corporate tax rate back down to 21%. Why? because at that point will be too high to be competitive to other G7 countries who are at 15%. Oh my goodness. So we're going to get the corporate tax rate back to where it is and still get stimulus checks? Yes. And then the news broke late yesterday when the Republicans came in a counterproposal of $1 trillion, not all of them, just a few of them. The president's, of course, not accepting that. That's just a fraction of his offer. And there we go. To voting we go. Really incredible news. That's your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. I got more surprises about it in the second half of this recording, and a Janet Yellen scandal happening minutes ago. Boy, I haven't had a scandal on this channel for a while. That's happening in the second half of this recording. Also, fifth stimulus is coming up in the second half of this recording. But meantime, I want you to get money for rent, utilities, homeowners help, because that money is available now. And I want you to reach out and get it yourself. But if you have problems finding it, don't worry. Reach out to the volunteers. They're viewers just like you who have stepped forward to help others. And they're in the description to this video. Open the description. You're going to see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of the house is a link to the community page, news.lalate.com/community. It has a picture of some cats, and lower on the page are the volunteers. Reach out to them and have them help you get that rent, utilities, homeowners help, and also mortgage help. And they are salt of the earth. They'll be able to help you, and I'll be able to join you in just 60 seconds. I'm back in 60 seconds with big exciting news still about fourth stimulus and what's happening on our fifth stimulus for that SSI and SSDI reform. Stay with me. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Noontime's LA. Wow, what a big day it is. 2,000 people in the room, 1,000 likes. We're kicking it out of the ballpark. I'm here, you're here, just missing some bacon. How are you? It's Noontime LA. In the second half of this recording, I have big updates about your fourth stimulus. I still have more about fifth stimulus. Oh boy, that's coming up. So make sure you subscribe. This is LA, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoon. I'm next with you, taped at 3 o'clock for afternoons LA. Then, that's West Coast time. Then 5 p.m., evenings LA. 2 hours after that, evenings crypto. And then 30 minutes after that, our new hit show, Overnight Crypto. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. You're doing great. We're at 1,000 likes already, 2,000 people in the room. Let's get to 3,000 likes and consider becoming a member. In the second half of this video, you're going to see why membership's very important. Let's get right to that fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall, and fifth stimulus is an add-on to the fifth stimulus package. Fifth stimulus has that SSI and SSDI add-on. And how does it work? Let's go over broadly what it is, and then we're going to go over the specifics, and I'm going to compare it to Warren's plan. It would raise your benefit limits, then remove the asset limits, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the marriage penalty, and then remove the income exclusion. All right, let's go over what that means, and then let's also go over the breaking news and compare it against Warren's proposal. So first, How does this work and who's it for? It's for you. So if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, they represent it's all for you, and they'll raise your benefits up one big time under the fifth stimulus package. Then they'll apply a benchmark. That benchmark is inflation. Now, everyone knows what inflation is. That's easy. But what is a benchmark? Every December, you get a letter approximately that says next year your benefits will be the same amount or go up a little bit. Well, now the benchmark will be inflation. And so we're trying to figure out what inflation will be in November. Here's what you need to know. It is superb news that your benefits are now tied to a new benchmark of inflation, because inflation is reported to give its highest rate in a generation later this year. Now, we're certainly not clear how high this inflation rate could be. A week ago, Jeremy Siegel said it was going to be 20%. A few days thereafter, the head of the Federal Reserve out of Georgia said that the growth rate is going from 4% to 10.5%. That sounds like 7% inflation, which is huge. And then a lot of analysts over the last few days have talked about maybe 4 to 7%. Let's use 6% as an example. I mean, that's an enormous amount. So first they would raise your benefits up. Then they would apply the benchmark. And the benchmark they apply every December. So let's say inflation is 6% this December. They would step you up next year for 6%. But that's lifetime, because benefits never step down. So if the year after that inflation is 0, you don't step down. If the year after that it's 1%, you step up another 1%. So plus 6 plus 1. Wow, that is some great news. Next, they're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law, which is going to go away. They're going to get rid of it, so you'll be able to hold more than $3,000 on hand and still stay on benefits. Useful for when you're putting those stimulus checks in the bank. Then they're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law. Wow, is that old? They're going to remove that, so if you want to work, you don't have to, but if you want to work, you can make $1,000, $2,000 a month and stay on benefits. And then finally, they're going to get rid of the marriage penalty, which is horrible. You can't get married because you're fearful of losing your benefits. Now it's going to go away, the marriage penalty. You can get married. You can marry your lifetime love interest. Love will win. And if you're married, you'll no longer be a victim of the marriage penalty. So that's fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus is in the fall, September, a two-bill, two-step, two-month process, just like fourth stimulus, that starts in September, finished around October, likely to see the step up in the October-November payment, and then the benchmark every year, you would see that every January. Now, what's important to know is that fifth stimulus has a lot of other items in there besides SSI and SSDI reform, which I just went over. The president calls the fifth stimulus package the American Family Plan. But it's not just for families. It has money in there for single individuals, hazard pay, single seniors, medical care, medical bills reduce. Great items in there for a lot of single people. But in a 30-minute video that's a 28 minutes, I never have enough time to go over what's in the fifth stimulus package. That's the benefit of being a member. The member link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. As a member, you'll get a delineation of what's in the third stimulus package, the fourth, and the fifth sent to you daily. So you'll never get confused about what is or isn't in there, because in a 30-minute video, I can't cover everything that's in the fifth stimulus. I also can't cover what else is in the fourth stimulus. There's a lot of other things in the fourth stimulus. And this is very important in light of a breaking news story today. A new report out from Politico just hours ago said that over 50% of Democrats polled had absolutely no idea what was in the fourth stimulus package or what was in the fifth stimulus package. In fact, they didn't even know they existed. And that of the remaining people who were asked that said they did know something about what was in there, they had barely any understanding of what was in the fourth stimulus or the fifth stimulus. And that's among Democrats that support the president. So it's very important that you know that information is king, that information is power. And by having the information from these videos, at least being a subscriber, you're learning what's in these items really well. It's important to understand also that the month of July is a crowded month where a lot of the different stimulus packages intersect at the same time. For example, we already heard earlier in this recording that while Jalapal wants to call the vote as soon as possible, Leader Schumer and Nancy Pelosi represent the latest the vote will be called is before July 4th. That means that in July, the 4 stimulus checks go out. Guess what also happens in the month of July? Also in the month of July, they're voting on a budget bill, which has nothing to do with us. But if you look at the budget bill, you may get confused if you're looking at that thinking it's this. Yeah. And guess what also is the month of July? 3rd stimulus checks for children go out. Not 4 stimulus, 3rd stimulus. So there's a lot of things going out in the month of July, and it's important to understand this is for that and this is for that. All right, let's go back to the details about what else is in 4 stimulus. When you look at 4 stimulus, there's 3 other items I want to go over. First, it's important to understand that 4 stimulus will no longer have rent or homeowners help in it. There's indication they're not bringing back the eviction moratorium or the mortgage forbearance. They're going away. So I don't want you to wait on getting this help for rent and utilities. I want you to get this money for rent and utilities right away, because the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance is not coming back. And they're not going to do another round of rent or homeowners assistance under the 4th stimulus. And not a few hours go by and someone says, I got money for rent. I love that. If you are one of those people, share your comments because it inspires other people to go get it as well. Next is in the 4th stimulus, we have a really big shocker. And that big shocker came from this when those 7 House members who wrote the president on Friday and said they're going to put those multiple stimulus checks in there. Guess what they also said they're going to put in there? They're going to put in there federal unemployment extensions. Wait a second. Which ones? They don't tell us. So these 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee are saying they're going to put federal unemployment extensions under 4 stimulus. This is huge, folks. It's a very fluid situation. I don't know the details yet. I'm going to stay on top of the story. As soon as I know the details, I'm going to report it to you. But the federal unemployment instruments are PEUC, PUA, and FPUC. So let's see if they really put them in there and which ones they do, and if they change the language from voluntary to mandatory for states, which would be huge for FPUC. We're going to watch that one. But finally, it's important to know that 4 stimulus is getting incredible monthly stimulus check support by both House and senators for a very obvious reason. The pandemic's ending. People are getting back to normal. The mask mandate's being lifted. People are about to enjoy their Memorial Day weekend. But something's still around. It's not bacon. It's the bills. Those bills are piled up because of the pandemic, and people need to have those bills wiped away. And that's why a fast, big cash infusion does it. House, $2,000 the first month, $1,000 every month thereafter. Jolly bill. Senate, a check every month from July to December. Possibilities, here we go. $2,000 a month or $1,400 a month. A big cash infusion is what does it, and that's why it's incredible that legislators finally understand that, yeah, you may be back to normal or close to normality, but you got debt, and you need to get that debt wiped away right away. Finally, a Janet Yellen scandal. I just can't believe I'm even reporting this. But yes, a Janet Yellen scandal. Where was Janet Yellen supposed to be minutes ago before this recording? Before I lost internet connectivity and couldn't see your live chat, but know you're there and yeah, you're fine. Janet Yellen was supposed to appear before a House SBA hearing. Yeah, that SBA hearing that they do every month or so about EIDL grants, about PPP. She was supposed to be there. Why? Because it's a constitutional requirement. It's not like, voluntary. I feel like showing up or not. Maybe I'll wear a purple shirt. Maybe I'll. No, it's in the Constitution. She's required to show up as the Treasury Secretary. She must show up. And this is as some viewers are still having real problems in getting their EIDL grant. Some people have not gotten the remainder of their $10,000 EIDL grant. Some people have not gotten the $5,000 offer that's after the EIDL grant. Some people have gotten not even an email from SBA. The PPP grant ran out of money weeks ago. I used to have a show on noontime called Business Grants. I didn't do it anymore because the president didn't deliver He didn't have business grants in there that he so promised, and the ones that he did ran out of money. So the PPP ran out of money. It's about to close if you didn't get your application in already. And then the EIDL grant has not ran out of money, and the EIDL loan has not, but people are having real problems getting paid on it. So you would certainly ask those questions to Janet Yellen when she shows up. But she did it. She did it. And guess who is really angry with her? Democrats and Republicans fired off a letter to the White House and the Treasury Department saying, where are you? You're supposed to be here. Her response was, well, I'm going to the Senate tomorrow. Why do I have to go to the House today? I have no comment on this one. I think you can comment on it, but I'm really shocked. The rest of the comment was, that she's focusing on things. But yeah, you were supposed to report and tell us where people's money are. She did show up. So there she is. Meantime, I'm back with you this afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time with Afternoons LATE. So make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video and consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. After Afternoons LATE, we go into Evenings LATE and then Evenings Crypto. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling. Have a beautiful afternoon. Drop in the comments, Senator House, and where you're watching from and how's the weather. And I will see you in just a little bit as LATE continues this afternoon.